All right, guys, so I passed my CompTIA Network Plus. All right, took me about 2 months, I'd say, of actual efficient studying. Um, uh, so I just wanted to show you exactly how I went about doing that, the resources I used, the study habits that I did in order to pass a test. It's not as hard as you think it is. The Network Plus, it kind of stumped me. I started studying about last summer. I didn't know exactly how to study, so I kind of procrastinated on it a bit. But now that I did find exactly how to go about it, I just wanted to share that. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. Exactly how do you pass the CompTIA Network Plus? How to pass the CompTIA Network Plus. So you need 3 resources, and these are the only 3 resources you need to pass the CompTIA Network Plus. You don't need to go to Udemy to buy any specific course. You can do this for free. You might need to pay for one thing, just one thing only. All right, so you're gonna go to Professor Messer, right? Go in the search bar on YouTube, type in Professor Messer Network Plus series. Okay, it's about 87 videos. All right, you wanna go there, you wanna go through each video, and you wanna get a notebook. Take some notes. All right. If you aren't taking notes, you're not gonna pass. Take some notes. All right. Take notes for each video. Just go through every one. What I like to do, this is the second resource you're gonna need, ChatGPT. All right, ChatGPT is such a good resource. So the thing with Professor Messer is he's pretty cut dry, and I like that. With how his explanation, he gets straight to the point. If he tells you what a router is, he's gonna tell you exactly what it is, what it does, and then that's what it is. So like when you get into more technical concepts like SD-WAN, that was one that I struggled with, or MPLS or something like that, wide area networking, and very specific topics about networking. You might get confused a bit. So what you want to do is, this is all I did. Have Professor Messer on one side of the screen, split screen with ChatGPT on the other side. Go through with Professor Messer. You watch his videos, right? And then you write your notes with anything that you don't understand. You go to ChatGPT. Just to make you type in your prompt, ask ChatGPT specifically to summarize certain concepts a specific way that it'll make you easier. Or if Professor Messer is being a little bit complicated in the way he's explaining these things, just write the topic. Just dumb it out for me, ChatGPT. I need you to dumb this down for me. I'm not really understanding this topic to pass in the context of like Network Plus. That's all you need to do. That'll help you out a bit. That'll cover everything you need to know. Right? Those 2 resources. Then this is the most important one, and the thing that you need to pay for. It's gonna be Jason Dion's practice tests. Jason Dion practice tests are some of the best practice tests as it pertains to CompTIA's test overall. If you're doing the A plus, Network Plus, or Security Plus, Jason Dion's practice tests are the best. They simulate the questions the best. I mean, when I went into the Pearson VUE exam, there were questions that were like 1-1 from practicing Jason Dion's practice tests, and the actual test content that was given to me. So you want to go through. I just bought set 1. It's like, I don't know exactly how much, between $50 and $65. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but you go into Jason Dion's practice test. What I did initially is I took the first test, right? Like midway through the objectives, or midway through Professor Messer's tests, Professor Messer's videos. Sorry. You want to go through, do a first test just to see where your brain is at after taking in a bit of information. You're gonna fail, right? But that sets your bar. Set a bar for yourself. Then you want to go back again, and you want to study, finish most of the videos from Professor Messer. Use your ChatGPT to focus on, dumb down the concepts for you. And then you want to go back and you want to take your test over and over and over and over again. There's about, I don't know if it's like 7 practice tests he has. There's set 2. I didn't do set 2. There's a set 1. 7 or 8 practice tests. You want to go through and you want to go and you want to do these like religiously. I mean, repetition after repetition after repetition, go through everything. Also, what you could do, these are just extra things that I did to make things a little bit easier for me. What I'd also do is, let's say, for example, I did this for two ways. I did two things. I used cards. Two specific ways I went about using these. So you can use them for studying for the actual material. So Professor Messer's videos, after you write the notes, so you write them in your book, and then let's say you finish studying after a 3-hour studying session, you want to go ahead and just take an hour after to write some notes. Just some questions off of your own head, make them up. You can even use ChatGPT to make the questions up. And you want to go through and make some questions. It's going to ask yourself, writing on the back of the note cards to drill it in. So when you're going about your day, let's say you're driving, no, don't do this when you drive, but let's say you're going about your day somewhere else, just have these note cards in your pocket, just pull them out, ask a couple questions, basics, what's a router, what's a switch, fundamental topics, things like that. And then that'll help you to, because it's all about repetition, right? The second way you can go about using these as well, and I highly recommend you do these as well, is you can also go through the practice exams and the questions that you got wrong, right? You write them down, all right? And then you go through, add those to your questions, and you just keep getting them wrong, keep putting them in. Eventually, you're going to start scoring high. I would say once you reach between 85% to 90%. Funny thing is, I've only scored 90 on this test once because Jason Dion tests are really hard. They're actually harder than the actual exam, multiple choice questions specifically. You want to go, once you pass between 85 and 90%, right? You should be able to pass the test pretty easily. I got a specifically a 70, 80. The only reason why I didn't get any higher is because, I'll be honest, the PBQs, performance-based questions, if you don't know what that means, is they give you scenario-based questions. So for example, on my test, I had switches and routers, and there was like a scenario, a troubleshooting scenario that I had to go through, and I had to remember the command. So in the last part of the objectives, if you go to CompTIA's site, CompTIA Network Plus, there's the objectives. I have them up here on my wall. So these are all the objectives that I have. I actually went through each, and at the last part of it, which is number 5 section of the CompTIA Network Plus objectives, there's going to be commands for switches on commands like show VLAN, like trace route, netstat, show VLAN, and use those commands to troubleshoot the issues that you're having, right? So I had to use those in that exam, specifically on the PBQs, and it was a little bit more harder. It was a little bit, not even a little bit, it was a lot harder, because it was like almost CCNA level stuff. So I skipped those and I went through what I was actually practicing for was multiple choice questions. And then I missed out them. I don't know if I passed or not, because CompTIA doesn't really tell you exactly what you got wrong, but I know for sure that definitely aided in me not getting the highest score I could. 780 isn't bad. It's like 87%, something like that. But yeah, that's all you need. So just to recap, get Professor Messer's videos, ChatGPT on the side to dumb down any technical concepts, and get Jason Dion's practice tests, extra tips, get some note cards, right? Write down some questions to drill. Repetition is important. Notebook, note cards, and something that's also very beneficial, and I should probably add this as one of the main points too, definitely print out your exam objectives. Right up there I have all my exam objectives. Those really help because Professor Messer, he goes through the exam objectives verbatim, so you could just follow them and then tick them off. Just tick off every one as you go along. That helped me out a lot to pass my CompTIA Network Plus. But yeah, that's all you need to pass. And it's quite simple. Not simple, not the simplest. It's simple if you study hard. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Just study, put the time in, and you'll pass it. Especially if you take those Jason Dion questions, and you rep them out, and you do it over and over again until you have a high score. You'll definitely pass the CompTIA Network Plus. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need to spend a lot of money to pass the CompTIA Network Plus. You just need those resources, and you'll be good. All right.